Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. It's time to rise and shine. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're feeling fine. Hi, I just pushed play. I thought it was just going to be me, myself, and I.
I'm Neil.
I am so glad that you are here.
Thank you.
There is a bunch of props laying out. You will only need a flat bolster and 2 blocks. So you can choose from what's there.
All right. Thank you.
You are welcome. Oh, good. I get you. I had to find you again here. There we are. All right. Oh, Haley, you're here. Nice to see you this morning. Good morning, Barbara. Reaching out to other folks on here. There you guys, you're all fine. Brandy, you're here. So is Julie. All right. Glad to see you guys filing in. Nice. Hi, nice to see you guys. I just started the camera, so I'm just letting you know. You will need a green bolster and 2 blue blocks.
Awesome. Okay. Kids are back to school today.
Yay, kids are back in school, so the moms are like, yes.
Me time.
The black ones are just out from last night. They just kind of, you can totally move them. I laid them there just so that I could, spray them the whole COVID protocols. So for these of you guys who are joining me at home, I know, Brandy, it's been so long. I'm so glad that you found me here on the practice. Diane came to yoga last night, and it was nice to see her, and I was missing you. So we will need 2 blocks to practice at home, and we will need a bolster, a flat green bolster. Now, I get that this may not be something that you guys have at home, but you could use a pillow, maybe 2 pillows, a couch cushion. If you had books at home that were relatively these size, let's see, for those of you who have read Twilight, that's kind of a Twilight size book, right? You could use those. I see you guys signing in. Nice. So for you guys at home, while the folks here in the studio get set up, let me know how your bodies are doing while I check in with everybody here to find out how their bodies are doing. I did write in the description that we're going to be doing chatarungas today. That's not people's favorite as a rule, but we've been doing them the last couple of weeks, and I've been getting a lot of feedback about how their arms are getting stronger and their shoulders feel stronger. But as we get stronger and we do this pose, I want it to be more accessible, and I want us to not have injury, and I want us to try to be more successful at that practice. All right, some people are checking in. Good morning. Yay, Valerie! Hello from Pittsburgh. Petra, I'm sorry about the orange juice incident. But glad that you have stopped for yoga. So everybody check in with their bodies. I guess no news is good news at this point. And if you're a little tight, that's okay. My biggest thing here is going to be if you're having wrist or shoulder issues. But I'm going to give you lots of modifications throughout the practice. So let me check in with the folks here. I see everybody doing their little things. Nice. All right.
Hey there. My body is great. This is my daughter, and she has a volleyball shoulder neck kind of little thing going on. The chiropractor's seen her a couple times a week right now.
So when did this thing happen?
I messed my shoulder up earlier this season, and then it's just like I have a disc in my neck that's out of place, so it's kind of like all
just
like,
a tiny bit, he said. So.
But it's this side of the shoulder.
it's like and then like back.
We should be pretty good. So here's the one thing that you just need to remember about today's practice and about chaturungas in general. That this is the shape that we're making, which means my elbow is always going back towards my feet. Remember how like this, I push up. Okay? So just notice that when I come out, I have this little sag that happens. That will dip into your neck. Right? This does not. And that's the shape. So if you just focus on that shape, you're going to be fine.
Shoulders back.
And it's going to help your lats a little bit. So this V type muscle right here and this muscles right here, these rhomboids, it's going to help. And that's also going to help the
Yeah, this
chiropractor.
kind of rhomboids and deltoids.
There you go. So we're going to work through those today. So thanks for the heads up on that. How's your body today?
It is stiff. I need a new mattress. I believe that is the issues with everything.
Oh my, I know. I'd like to blame everything.
I think
on
it
my
really is
mattress.
because Philip and I are having the same problems. Like, I was like,
Is it the
holding
mattress
up
or
this
is it
morning.
like the 4 dogs in bed with you?
I mean, that's I'm going to say it's a mattress because I'm not getting rid of my fur right
I know. Well, we can blame it on the mattress, but the mattress that I'm currently sleeping on, I'm telling you in front of God and everybody, right? I have a king size bed, and I got that bed when I moved into my grandmother's home to take care of her in 2004,
Yes.
which means she already had
Yes.
this bed.
That's what I'm talking
So,
about.
you know, I have a 20-year-old bed that I'm sleeping on with a 70-pound dog. So, I mean, I feel like...
Yeah, we started here and moved in up
I
here.
got this little...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you feel my pain.
Life goals, new bed,
Uh-huh.
same dog.
But otherwise, good, yes.
All right, let's get started. Oh my goodness, everybody's been checking in while I was talking. Yes, they're tight, their bodies are good.
How is your body, Michelle?
It is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Well, heck yeah. Who cleans their mouth before they settle?
You do, obviously.
Oh, well, it was
So
like
now it's all wet
dusty
and
or something,
sticky
which is
and-
shameful.
yeah.
I feel
All right, so it is after 10.
Yeah,
Everybody
I saw
who
someone, I
is
was like, but now it's
going
wet.
to sign in has signed on. So let's get this practice started, shall we? All right, so those of you at home, 2 blocks, bolster, we're going to get started. Just pick in, choose poses when you can, and we're going to let that head come forward. Find your breath. Sits bones sink down into the floor. Navel pulls in towards spine. Shoulders come back over hips. Find your breath. So you can really dedicate this practice to someone. You can set an intention for the practice, maybe a relief of an injury or stress. We lift that pelvic floor, we pull the navel in, and we find that steady breath that is ours. And it doesn't matter if it's small or large, as long as it's done with intention. We open the eyes, lace the fingers together, pressing out, lifting up, tall spine. Really long body here. Now, as we release, we turn to the right. Tall spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left shoulder comes down. Right hand comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Contract through right side as we slowly come up. Back to the center. Hands come out and up. And over to the left. Tall spine. Oh. No, it's not scary. Deborah, no. Deb, we got this. Tall spine. 3, 4, 5. That's why we have so many props, so that we can use the props to do these poses. Right shoulder comes down, left hand comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Contract to come up. And, oh gosh, Barbara, you're not old. Oh, same old, okay, maybe that. And back to the center, forward folding, lengthening out, lifting that pelvic floor, nice long spine. 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly, we're gonna come up, change the cross of those legs. Hi, Kai, good morning. Right arm comes down, left arm reaches. Opening through side body, stacking those shoulders, turn the armpit up. Where's your breathing in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left hand comes up, bend at the elbow, twist it through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unwind and lengthen. And coming up, left arm comes down, right arm reaches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right arm comes up, bend at the elbow, twist it through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And release it back up. And back up. Hands come behind. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, open the heart, lifting pelvic floor, opening through those collarbones. Forward folding, hands come up, lift, lift, lift. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands come down as we come up, backs and the hands come together, rolling back body. And gently release. We're going to put the bottoms of those feet flat on the floor. Tall spine, hinging at hip crease. We take the time that it takes. So we have the time that it takes to warm up the body, We're taking our time to be grounded, to breathe, to be present, so that as we make that transition into chatarangas and our standing series, it's more fluid, more organic. We feel more connected through the feet. Slowly we come back up. We're going to lift those knees up, crossing, grab those knees, roll the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring those knees up, change the cross, roll back body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring those knees back up, reach down, grab that right foot, extend the leg up. Nice tall spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We let that right foot come down, left one comes up, tall spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put that foot down, drop those knees over to the left. Now, as we drop them over, we want to sit up as straight as we can so that we can put pressure down into right hip. Opening through this IT band, feeling this work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming up over to the other side. Tall spine again, trying to press down through this left hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring those knees back up, extend those legs out, leaning forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As we come up, right leg comes over left. Now we're going to repeat the same posture at the end, but with both legs bent if we can, if our hips will let us. We're going to come forward, grabbing that foot, see if maybe we can fold at hip crease, lengthening through the crown of the head. Again, this first couple of postures is all about hips, feeling connected, finding our breath, getting in that rhythm of the practice. Slowly we come up, foot comes next to the knee, rotate to the right, tall spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming back to the center, grab that foot and rock it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take that right foot, place it into that left leg. Right hand comes behind. Lengthen and stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Booty comes right back down. Right foot comes into the thigh. Bring that knee up. Right knee comes down. Tall spine. Find your breath. Checking in with your body. Smile a lot. Work the muscles of the face. Kind of just let the heart rest. And what I mean by the heart is I mean that metaphoric heart of we're sitting the stress down, we're sitting the fatigue down, all the stuff that's just crazy. I'm just going to say, not right now. Gently release. We're going to put those legs out. Nice little bounce. Sound effects always help. I know, right? And that left leg comes over and lengthen. Nice long stretch through the spine. And then as we come up, foot comes next to the knee, rotate to the left, tall spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to the center. grab the foot and shake it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that foot comes into the inside of that right thigh. Left hand is behind. Press down to come up. Nice long stretch here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release. Bring the body back down. Take that foot. Place it into the thigh. Right knee up. Left knee down. Nice rotation in hip. And really, really good stretch. You guys continue to check in with me, which is awesome. Thank you. And then from there, we gently release and send it out. Bounce. Forward folding. So remember that our feet are a direction, not necessarily a destination. So we just feel that stretch in the body. We feel connected. Making a little more progress to the true practice today, which is chaturanga. If we did chaturangas for an hour, our arms would be like T-Rexes. You just can't do it until you get the hang of it. And so we're going to come up. We're going to take that right leg and bend it under. Left leg comes over. So we're going to come into steer face pose, cow face pose. This is steer, but when you add the arms, it becomes cow face pose. We want the knees to stack up. If your hips are tight, it's not going to happen. So it might be the bottom leg has to be like this, and that's okay. I would do that. So I would extend your right leg out and then tuck that left one in tightly. Yeah, good job. So because the left leg is on the top, left hand comes over like you're patting yourself on the back. Right hand comes under. Maybe you can grab those hands. You're just going to try. If you don't, that's okay. You just put those palms against your body. Now we're going to start to lean forward. So you're definitely going to feel this lengthening pull down the femur of that left hip. If your right leg is straight, you're going to feel that hamstring stretch. We all can feel the stretch of that right arm behind the body, up into the deltoid. Where's your breathing? Did you hold your breath when this got difficult? Of course you did. That's what we all do. So just breathe through it. Stay present. Do what you can with what you've got. Slowly we come back up. Release it out. Maybe a shoulder roll. And we're going to change the cross. Good morning, Jackie. Right arm comes over. Left arm comes under. Lace those fingers together if you can. Nice tall spine. And then slowly start to fold forward. And we're going to feel that work, that left arm behind us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We slowly come up and gently release that out. Maybe some shoulders up and down and gently release. Now, from here, we're getting ready to do reclined postures, just a few. We're going to be doing something that's called wall angels that we typically do against the wall standing, but it's easier to do here because gravity's pulling you down to further prep those shoulders for that work we're going to do. So we're going to lay back. Maybe a little roll here should feel pretty good. We're going to start right off with the arm work though. So we sit the bottoms of the feet flat on the floor. Try to get that lower back against the floor. Elbows out, arms up. Nice rotation. Allow those elbows to slide up until the fingertips touch. And back. Up and touch. And down. That's 2. Up and touch. And down. That's 3. Up and touch. And down. That's 4.
up and touch, down, that's 5, up and touch, down, that's 6, up and touch, down, that's 7, up and touch, down, that's 8, up and touch, down, that's 9, last one, up and touch, and down, that's 10. Pull those knees in, feel that stretch into lower back. Arms come out to the side, drop those knees over to the left. Feel that work here through side body. Nice full breathing. Just again, grounding and prep work for the rest of the practice. We bring those knees back into the center and then over to the right. Feel that open rib cage through the left side. And bring those knees back to the center. We're going to let those feet come up. Nice rotation for the hips, especially in the back of the hip. Right heel comes towards chin. 2, 3, 4, 5. That foot comes up. Left one comes in. 2, 3, 4, 5. And that foot comes up. We're going to gently release those feet. Again, crossing into that steer posture, ankles down and up. Change that cross. Ankles down and up. Finding your breath, staying connected. We're going to release that out. Bottoms of the feet come down. Press down to come up. 1. Imagine you were holding a block between your knees. 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly rolling down. So excited to get deeper into the practice. We pull those knees in. We cross at those ankles, giving yourself a little rock from side to side. And then maybe you can roll forward to come to a seated position and then on over into hands and knees. Good morning, Katie Buck. I'm glad you made it. So we're on those hands and knees. We're going to allow the spine to come up and down and up and down. One more time, up and down. A little wrist work here. Flatten that back. We're going to take the backs of our hands and put them on the mat. Fingertips are facing each other. So when you are doing your chaturanga, even if your triceps are working great, deltoid, shoulders, a whole upper body girdle, if your wrists are weaker, the pose is difficult. So we're going to release that out. Now we're going to let that right hand rotate around so that the right fingertips are facing right knee. Left hand rotates around, so left fingertips are facing left knee. Nice rotation through forearms. We're going to shift the glutes back towards the feet. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then gently unwind right, unwind left. Soften back, elbows down, hands together. See if maybe you can do a figure 8 with the wrists and then maybe change that direction, those figure 8s. Now, we're going to do one last wrist stretch and then move into our flow. We're going to come back up, but this time we're going to take the back of the right hand and place it on the mat, fingertips towards me. Same thing on that left side, fingertips towards me. Now, when we first do this, our body is in
that flight or fright mode, you know what I'm trying to say that it can't.
Fight or flight. Thank you.
That's right.
And so the elbows bend, wanting to protect the body. But we want to straighten those arms.
And now we take the creases of the elbows and turn them forward. It's really going to turn on the front of those arms, definitely down into wrists and forearms. Just breathe through it. Try to put as much of your weight into your butt as possible, and that will take pressure out of the wrists. 3, 4, 5, gently release, unwind that right hand, unwind that left hand, just a little pressure in those hands. Now really grab with the first digits of each palm, turn the toes, down dog, bend and stretch. Lengthening through the spine, filling in lower back. Bend the knees looking forward, stepping forward, fingertips flat back, forward folds. Inhale all the way up. Hands come down. And checking in. Body doing okay? How's your shoulder doing?
It hurts.
It hurt before you came?
Not really.
No, it hurts now, right? Okay, so what you're gonna wanna do is when you have shooting pain, definitely just back off completely. The very first pose that we're gonna do is something called knees, chest, and chin. And it might be that that's what you have to do all during class today. But what you'll do is you'll remember the other ones so that as you get stronger and as you heal, you can practice those. So we're going to do everything from knees, chest, and chin, all the way to jumping back into it and jumping forward to it. So it's going to go from really easy on the body to just really strength training. And you're going to have to find that spot in there that your body says, I will agree to do that today. So that's what we're going to do, okay? Promise me you'll be good to you.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Perfect. So we're going to start in the front. We're going to really settle into those toes, feeling connected. I see you. No need to run.
We need
It's
too
okay.
much water and coffee.
We only get to borrow. And inhale up. Exhale, forward folding. Nice work here. We're just kind of hanging out a little bit. Fingertips flat back, lengthening through the spine. Forward fold. We're going to soft bend the knees and send that right foot back, grounding that right foot. That first posture, we're going to come up into warrior one. Let those arms come up. Really big stretch. Try to let those shoulders melt down the back body. Let the arms be soft. We don't have to be rigid here. We feel connected through the feet. And 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to let those hands slowly float down. Come to that right foot. Back to plank. Now, from plank, the very first time through, we're going to sit those knees down. We're going to let the elbows go straight towards the back of the mat and let the chin and chest come to the floor. So our booty kind of sticks up in the air. We're going to use those feet to press down, lifting the kneecaps off the floor, lower the belly, then soften the feet. Then lift the chest up. Nice full breath here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly lower the chest. Press through those hands, but still keep those elbows in to come to table. Turn the toes under, come to down dog. Bend and stretch a bit. Lengthen the spine, filling in lower back. Bend the knees, allow right leg to travel forward. We're going to come up into warrior 1. 1, 2, 3, 4,
5. Hands slowly come down to the floor. Come to the ball of left foot. Stepping forward, fingertips flat back. Forward folding. Inhale all the way up. Hands come down. Release it out. Was that doable?
Yeah.
Good. All right, so we want doable. You try to do that. So we're going to continue that way. So we're going to take the time and do a chaturanga and an up dog or cobra. So this time it was knees, chest, and chin. But the next time we go through it, instead of knees, chest, and chin, it's a chaturanga, but it's a slow lower to the floor. There's no hovering, there's nothing fancy, there's no jumping. We're just going to come from a plank and see if we have that right arm shape and just slowly put our body on the floor. That's the hope. Come to the front. We're going to inhale it up. Exhale, forward fold. Fingertips flat back. Forward folding, soft bend the knees. Send that right foot back, grounding right foot. We're going to cartwheel those hands up. Oh, hello. Into warrior 2. So we do what we can. So it may be that if that back arm is bothering you, it might have to be here. So do what you can. Now we want to work the shoulder because we're going to be using them so much for our chaturanga. So we're going to turn those palms up. We're going to rotate all the way through until the palm comes up. Do what you can. And release. Good breathing. Rotate all the way through. And release. One last time, rotate all the way through. And release. We're going to allow those hands to come down to the floor. Come to the ball of right foot as we step back into plank. Now remember, from this plank, we're just going to lower to the floor. But we want to push with the balls of our feet so that the tops of the shoulders travel forward. The shoulders are over where the middle finger would be. Elbows go straight back. And we slowly flatline just all the way to the floor. Soften the feet. Now this time, instead of a small cobra, we're going to try to lift taller. Remember, when we're in a cobra, those arms are not locked like that. That's an up dog. The thighs are touching. So we're going to bend those elbows. Drop the shoulders, looking forward. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly lowering down, take a pause. Maybe a little rock from side to side here, getting some circulation in the belly, finding your breath. And then we're going to press the table. From table to down dog. A little bending and stretching here, lengthening through the spine, filling in the lower back. Right leg comes forward, grounding the back foot. Cartwheel up into warrior 2. Again, do what you can. So if it's this front arm that's bothering you, maybe you have to rest it today. Maybe you only work the one arm. Palms are up. Rotate all the way through and up. And release. Rotate all the way through. Palms come up. And release. One more time, all the way through. And release. Hands slowly come down towards the floor. Come to the ball of the foot. And lengthen out. And forward fold. Looking at those knees, shake the head no. Shake the head yes. Inhale all the way up. Hands come down. Gently release. Doable? Yeah, we're doing it in stages. And I'm really glad that you guys are respecting your body. So the next time that we come through, we want to try to hover. That's when we're going to use the bolster. So for you guys at home, the bolster could end up being 2 pillows. It could be a couch cushion, but it needs to be pretty dense and about at least 8 inches tall. So folks in the classroom, we're going to go ahead and get this out, and we're going to put it beside the mat, not on the mat because you'll step on it. You just need to be able to have access to flip it over. Perfect. So we come to the front. We're going to inhale up. Exhale, forward folding. Fingertips flat back. Forward folding, soft bend the knees. Extend that right foot back, grounding that right foot. We're going to cartwheel all the way up into warrior 2. But we're going to work on side angle with the bind in just a moment. So we let that left elbow come to left knee. Right arm travels over. Hips are forward, shoulders are back. We're really elongating through the spine here. 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we're going to do here is allow that right arm just to drape behind the back by the waistline. We're going to let that left hand maybe come to the floor. Maybe we can bend left elbow and allow that left arm to come under left thigh. Maybe we can grab the hand behind us. This is just to get a little shoulder work in that is not weight bearing. 2, 3, 4, 5. When we release the shoulders, we're already so close to the floor. It gives us that opportunity to take the bolster and roll it in. My right arm is on right side of bolster. I come to ball of right foot. Left foot comes back. I'm in plank. So from here, we're going to let those toes push us forward. Shoulders travel forward. Last time we went straight to the floor. This time we're going to try to come down, hover over the top of that bolster for maybe 1001, 1002, and then so we can see that being lower does not necessarily mean being flatter or more difficult. What tends to happen is we tend to pitch the head of the shoulder forward, and that's when you can dislocate your shoulder, separate your shoulder, and or dislocate your collarbone. And I have all 3 of those boxes checked. So I know from experience. So from here we're going to practice a cobra or a modified up dog. So we're going to let those knees come down to the floor. We're going to soften the tops of the feet. Pressing those arms super straight here. Now, once you get those arms locked, see if you can lift the knees off the floor. This is an up dog. An up dog is when you have your palms and the tops of the feet touching and nothing else. But we get this little assist because the weight of the pelvis is resting on the end of that bolster. So it gives you that modified chaturanga and modified up dog. Slowly let your knees come down. Turn your toes under. Shift back to down dog. Now, when you're in this down dog, use this opportunity to flip that bolster back out of the way. Palm comes down. Allow right leg to travel forward, grounding that back foot. We're going to cartwheel up into that warrior 2. Allow that right arm to come down. Left arm travels over. Hips forward, shoulders back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left hand comes behind the back body. Right hand comes down to floor. Maybe you can bend that elbow and wrap around. Maybe you can grab the wrist or hand, and maybe you don't, and that's all right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release. Come to the ball of left foot, stepping forward. Fingertips flat back. And from there, forward fold. Looking at those knees, shake the head no. Shake the head yes. Inhale all the way up. Hands come down. And gently release. Yay! So we start to feel that in the shoulders. So that very first one, knees, chest, and chin. The second one, we slowly allowed ourselves to come down. But each time we progressively let cobra start turning into up dog. Because I'll say knees, chest, and chin, or cobra or up dog, right? Mm-hmm. So you always have those options. So we're slowly having that metamorphosis of knees, chest, and chin to chaturanga, and cobras to an up dog. So that second time, all the way straight down. The third time, there was the hover with a little catch me at the bottom, but we moved into up dog. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take one block. I'm going to show you one time first because it's going to be kind of hard for you to do this and watch. You're probably still going to want to do knees, chest, and chin, but you can do this with the block doing knees, chest, and chin. So instead of being in a full plank, your knees will be down to take some weight so you won't have weight in that shoulder. So a lot of times when we are coming from that chaturanga to up dog, typically people will just lower down and then just kind of straighten up and drop their hips. And there's a little bit of a scoop that happens. And that's why people's toes flip. It's because they've actually moved forward and they flip over their feet. It's not a straight up flipper. As you move forward, you kind of move over your feet. So I'm going to show you what's going on here, just from a down dog. So I'm in my down dog from here, plank. From plank, I'm going to come into my chaturanga. Now this is a way too low of a chaturanga, but this is going to help us learn how to move for up dog. My chest is on this block. I'm going to use the balls of my feet. See, that's why I'm moving, is because I'm pushing the balls of my feet. To push me forward, it's going to move the block. My feet flipped because I pushed forward. I'm traveling backwards. I'm traveling forwards. It's me moving 8 inches, 8 inches, 8 inches. That's why they flip. Okay? This block is to help you go low enough to slide forward to come up. Okay? That's all we're going to try to work on. So when we start this flow, we're going to start with the block between your feet. So just be conscious not to trip on it. So we're going to start at the front. So this time we're going to just work on a revolved side angle. Inhale up. Exhale, forward folding. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. Step that right foot back. Ground that foot. We're going to cartwheel up into warrior 2, but we're going to let that right elbow travel around, coming down onto the knee. Palms come together, rotate. Looking at left elbow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put the hand down on the outside of that block. Come to the ball of the foot. Stepping back into plank. From plank, we're going to come down into that chaturanga. Keep those elbows in. Your balance on that block. Your knees are not touching unless you're putting them down to take weight out of your shoulder. Push with the balls of the feet. Let the chest
Push that block forward as you straighten your arms. Yes, mama. Just like that, I see you grinning.
And maybe turn those toes or put knees down to come to down dog. Bend and stretch. Right leg travels forward. You move that block while you do that. Cartwheeling up to warrior two. Left elbow comes around, placing on that knee. Palms come together, rotating up, looking at right elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to let those hands come down to the floor. Come to the ball of left foot as we slowly step forward. Fingertips flat back. Forward folding. Feel that work. Shake the head, no. Shake the head, yes. We're going to inhale all the way up. Hands come down. And gently release. Was pretty cool, right? It helps us learn. Yes. I'm all about props and learning things, right?
Absolutely.
So then we get to this point where we're like, okay, I'm getting strong, and then we stop paying attention and we get a little sloppy, right? And so a lot of times when we're first practicing, we think the lower we get and the more we hover, it's more correct, but it's not. So I want to show you what's happening in my shoulder. So what typically happens is when you're here, a lot of people come here. But look at how my shoulders look. That doesn't even look like it's comfortable, right? Because they're pitched down. Because they're pitched down, we have this spot here with the acromion process where the collarbone comes over and there's this attachment. And this is when we can get a separation in the shoulder, thus that little bump, or a dislocation, which just normally happens here 90% of the time. It happens here, and like only 10% of the time does it happen here, and I managed to do that one. So it's because of that pitch. We want to keep this shelf. So actually, chaturanga is really high. It's here. It's not here. And our booty tends to stick up, which also puts the weight. Well, how do we gauge that? Because we'll think we're doing right, but we can't see ourselves. We're going to do that with the 2 blocks. So I'm going to show you something. When I put my hand down like this, we see the distance and the height of my forearm. We have the radius and the ulna. Those 2 bones here are helping us hold the weight. And if you look, my block is a little less than my elbow. Okay? So what we're going to do today is we have the 2 blocks set up, and I'm going to sit my shoulders on them, which means I can't go down too far. They're going to stop. So I'm going to show you how that looks before we practice them. My fingertips are up against the block. I'm in my plank. Now remember, for my shoulders to go on these blocks, I have to travel forward with the balls of the feet. That's why we did that first. Push with the balls of the feet. Bend the elbows back. You can sit your shoulders down. Look at the form here. You can work on your form alone.
Huge difference.
From here, we'll press up. And down. Yeah?
Yes.
So that's what we're going to try to do. You're going to put your knees down. You can still do the same thing and practice with us and be safe. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and set these up. Make sure there's space for your head. Don't put the blocks too close. Remember to breathe. And it doesn't matter if you forget. Somehow I lost me. I found me. And everybody else, okay, everybody's still good. All right, so we're going to come to the front. We're going to practice triangle this time. So there's a space for the head. There's going to be a place for the shoulders to rest. Remember the trick here. Pushing with the balls of the feet so that you can come forward enough to sit your shoulders on those blocks. Inhaling up. Exhaling, forward folding. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. Soft bend those knees. Extend right foot back, rounding that foot. We're going to cartwheel up to warrior two. Once we're in warrior two, we're going to straighten that left leg. We're going to lengthen and tip coming into triangle. Hip forward, shoulders back, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to let the right hand come down to the floor. We're going to have to soft bend that left knee. Come to the ball of right foot. Step back to plank. Work your hands so they're in the correct place. Push with the balls of the feet. Elbows go straight back. Sit the shoulders down on the blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press straight up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make your way to your down dog. Maybe you come through table first. Maybe you bend and stretch those ankles and knees, lengthening through spine. Allow right leg to travel forward. Cartwheel all the way up into warrior 2. Straighten front leg. Lengthen. Tip. Hips forward, shoulders back, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top hand rotates down. Bend that front knee, come to the ball of left foot, stepping forward. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. Good morning, Frank. And inhale all the way up. Oh, hands come down and release. Was that awesome? I like it when I get 2 thumbs up. That's like awesome. So that's, you see, that's that slow transition. So we went from not as much effort, or maybe we're having a tired or slow day, recovered for injury, all the way up into practicing good form. And now we're just going to practice getting strong and to play and be silly. You're not. You're going to take notes so that you can kick your mom's butt later, okay? Okay. So you can do knees, chest, and chin if you want to, but no jumping for you. All right. So a lot of times you'll see this in a practice. I'm going to show you once and then we'll do it together. So you'll have this up, forward folding, fingertips flat back, forward fold, jump to chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog, bend the knees, jump, the fingertips flat back, forward fold, and up. Right? You'll see that a lot. And you're like, I want to practice. How am I going to practice that? We're going to practice with the block. So remember this fun little thing that we did where we put our chest on the block. Now keep in mind, that's still too low. You should be taller, but for today it'll be fine. So we have the block. So what we're going to practice today for funsies, my idea of fun, maybe not yours, is that we're going to jump back, but jump to plank. Don't try to jump to chaturanga, because that takes a little more practice, because you have to be able, mid-jump, soften the elbow. So my suggestion to do, even though we're jumping to plank, is not to do shock absorbers in the shoulder today, right? So just try to jump, even if it's kind of a down dog to plank, that's fine, okay? Then we're going to come down, we're going to push that block forward like we did last time, but then when we jump forward, we're trying to kick the block that's between our fingers, okay? Because you can see it, you tend to move more forward. A lot of times we look at our feet because our head is hanging, we don't jump as far. Where if we lift our head, bend our knees, we're aiming for something, we tend to travel a little further forward. Oh yeah, demonstrate. Now I'm going to do it before we do it. All right, so my feet are between the blocks. No, the block is between my feet. I got it right. Inhaling up. Exhaling, forward folding. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold, soft bend. You'll jump to plank. I did not last time, but that's what you'll do. We're going to let those elbows come back. Our belly comes, our chest comes to the block. We're going to push it forward. Push back the down dog. From that down dog, we're going to bend those knees. We're going to look forward. We're going to take the block. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. Inhaling up. Cool. Round of applause. All right, so let's try. Funsies. Between the feet. Here we go. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold, soft bend those knees. You're gonna jump to plank. Be nice to your shoulders, good job. Bring that chest down to the block. Elbows are back and in tight, no chicken wings. Press that block forward as you come up to up dog. Now, turn those toes or knees coming into down dog, elongating through spine. Maybe there's a bend and stretch here in ankles and knees. We bend the knees significantly. We look forward towards that block. We hop.
I missed my book.
But you are so close.
And inhale all the way up. And hands come down. You totally kicked your block. Dang it. It was fun though, right? Bam! Hot dog. That makes me happy. And from here we're going to come wide at the end of our mat.
That's awesome.
And we're going to bend those knees and slowly come down into a squat. Oh, they're like, ha ha ha, no hops. Everybody's checking in, so that's good. Nice release in lower back. You can let those arms take a break. And we're going to sit back on our booties, grab those knees. We'll let that lower back release. Try to pull the navel in towards the spine. We're going to grab those knees, roll onto the back body, pull those knees in, maybe a little rock here. You guys did so well. And then let those arms come out to the side. We're going to drop those knees over to the left. Bring those knees back to the center and over to the right. Back to the center. Bottoms of the feet come flat onto the floor. Maybe a little windshield wiper here with those knees to release any tension you might have built in the hips. And then we're going to allow those, we're going to move up a little bit here. We're going to allow those feet to be hip distance apart. Arms are down beside the body. We're going to press down through those feet to lift those hips up. We want to keep those legs parallel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly start to lower down. We extend right leg and then left leg. Resting down for Shavasana. Really feeling that work in the body. We release the feet, the ankles, the shin, and the calf. Moving through the knees and into the thighs. We soften the glutes and pelvic belly. We release lower back and navel, mid back and solar plexus, shoulder blades and heart. We lift collarbones. We lengthen neck, soften face. We find that breath. That breath is slow and steady. We feel the work. Now, as we inhale up that back body and exhale down that front body, we're just balancing out that physical body, checking in again. But we also want to check in with our emotional body and our mental body. And there is a difference there. You can feel a way about something and then you can be thinking about something else. We check in with that energetic body. What is the energy in your body? And it doesn't have to be anything more than do you feel tired or not. Some days, if we're really connected, we can tap into that spiritual bodies, and it's okay not to feel anything. Because some days we're not okay, and that's okay. That's been my last, since March. So we slowly began to maybe move those fingers and toes and start to lengthen those arms above the head. And then slowly bend one knee and then the other. Maybe your feet are still on the ground as you do a little rocking from side to side. Maybe there's more, maybe there's less. We roll to that right side of the body, releasing here. And slowly we start to come up. As we make it to our seated position, we just check in with ourselves a little bit. This always feels good. I do it automatically. Let's try it together today. Just rub our palms together. Gets them really, really warm. Gets the circulation going. Then we're going to take the heels of those hands and put them in the sockets of the eyes. And then gently let those hands come to the knees and just think about that for a second. Feel the warmth that's lingering on the face. It's been before COVID, but I got a massage. And the lady that I went to see massaged my face. And it actually made me cry because I couldn't remember the last time somebody had actually touched my face. And we forget and we ignore it. And it's so important. So anytime that you can do that, it's really nourishing for yourself. We allow the head to turn to the right. We allow the head to turn to the left. Come back to the center, hands come to the heart as we remind ourselves of all the things that we are grateful for. And what's so amazing about this huge list that immediately came to your mind is that there's one triple, 10 times that big that you take for granted. And I know that you're thankful for those as well. We send out love and kindness and compassion to those who need it. I'm going to end the practice with an inhaling. Bowing forward, namaste. Peace be with you. Go safely. And thank you for coming. Yay, yoga! We did awesome stuff today. So from the studio here and the girls here to you at home, big yoga hugs. We love you. See you next week.